attended the Pokémon World Championships for the first time ever. This is something I've wanted to do since 2010. And it did not happen the way I expected it to. Because thank you to the Pokémon Company International for covering my flight and stay in Honolulu, Hawaii for Worlds 2024. What? Let me tell you, this video almost didn't happen. From unexpected tech problems to somebody not staying hydrated enough, I wonder who that might be. It was like the world didn't want this video to release. But here we are, and here's a glimpse into my journey. Day 1 was just travel, from car to boat, boat to bus, bus to train, train to plane, and plane to taxi. In case you're wondering who thought this was the best route to take to get there, haha, guilty as charged. On the flight there, I decided to play a new save file of Pokémon White 2 in preparation for an event that we'll discuss later. An hour and a half in though, the game froze. I don't think I saved. So I turn off the game, turn it back on, and lo and behold, eventually I had arrived in Honolulu at 11 p.m. Hence why the title is the way it is. The adventure really begins on day 2. Waking up in Waikiki is truly something else. It's a beautiful place. And I was really taking it all in. The first few hours in the day were pretty relaxed, up until the Pokémon Center visit. I had been looking forward to this for so long. I had wanted to go to a Pokémon Center store for even longer than I'd wanted to go to Worlds. In fact, I used to beg my parents to take me to New York City so I could go to the Pokémon Center New York, not knowing the Pokémon Center there had long since shut down. But anyways, we had the opportunity to go to the Pokémon Center pop-up early, so we went on a walk to the convention center and stood in line outside, waiting for the doors to open. Then, out of nowhere, I felt weird. I think I just wasn't prepared for the heat and humidity. I am but a frail Canadian. So a guy named Kevin, who is a guy, went to the front of the line to let the Pokémon team know, and they brought me inside so I could cool down and have some water. Thanks, Pokémon! Since I can't say I fully bounced back right away, I didn't make the smartest decisions while in the Pokémon Center. I handed my camera to Kevin, who had never used this camera, and I recorded on my phone, vertically, for some reason. Kevin's footage was fine until... oh no. No! So, long story short, all the horizontal footage looks heavenly? So, shout out to Matt, aka Absol, who kindly provided me some footage from his trip through the store. You are a hero. The store had all sorts of Pokémon decorations. I was obsessed. And they had plenty of merchandise, from World's exclusive merch to the products I often see on the Pokémon Center website. I grabbed quite a bit of merchandise. The 3 Worlds plushies, a figurine, 2 shirts, the Bear Walker Worlds 2024 board, a Worlds ukulele, and of course, a water bottle. Because I needed it. And after that, I pretty much rested for the remainder of the day. The heat definitely hit me hard, but I made the most out of the situation, I think. Plus, there was so much more to do the following days, so I didn't want to overdo it and risk missing out on everything else. Especially... No, I did not just fly back home. Why would I do that? What I did do was so much cooler. A select few Pokémon partners were able to go into the airport and watch a special Pokémon plane arrive at the terminal.
Everyone's got audio over this, right?
Yeah. The plane had arrived. And as the passengers got off the plane, Pikachu was there to greet them.
Let's go!
Then we walked through the airport and got an even better look at the plane. Then elsewhere in the airport, they had live music and performers, and Pikachu was there too. Our group then drove to the Hilton Hawaiian Village Resort. This is where they had the badge pickup and also a bunch of activities. We all went to pick up our badges, and I also got a 2024 Worlds bag filled with goodies, once again courtesy of the Pokémon Company International. Included in this bundle were 2 random plushies from the Kalos Sitting Cuties line, a set that hasn't released yet in North America. And out of all the Pokémon I could have gotten, I was not expecting Yveltal. That's actually insane. I'm also hyped that I got Vivian. Over the last few months, I've grown to absolutely love this Pokémon, and it makes for a really great plushie. As day 3 came to an end, we got to watch a Special Worlds drone show. I've never seen a drone show before, so I really didn't know what to expect. But in the end, it was amazing, and also a glorified Who's That Pokémon.
Whoa. Huh? That's our Pokemon. Oh, let's go!
And it's waving high. It's a pancake.
Dude, he's gonna go on a journey. He is ready to go.
He caught it.
Squirtle. It's not gonna be Squirtle.
Really? That actually might be.
It's not.
Hold up. It's Azumarill.
Yeah, my boy! Non-zero chance of Azumarill. Yeah!
Oh my God, it's airplane, watch out!
Oh no! Oh, the precious child!
Looking into our souls.
Yeah.
I'm about to confess a sin.
It's Pikachu!
It's Sidon.
Yo, it totally is! It totally is!
Please. I'm on. Please be Sidon.
The boy!
Let's go!
Yeah! Oh, that's awesome! Riolu.
That's a
Oh, it's totally Riolu. It can't not be. Come on. I was wrong.
You know, eventually it'll be a Riolu.
And someday it will be Riolu. I can't tell what it is. Floette? No.
Ponyta?
Floette?
Galarian Ponyta?
No.
Giraffe.
Oh, I feel so pranked. Look at it go.
These ones you actually can't predict the first second. They're just still all Pikachu. So cool.
Look out, he's gonna get us. I have 0 guesses. It might just be a logo.
Nope.
I was right. Wow.
That is so cool.
Giratina, let's go. Oh! Oh, the baby! Oh, I love this with all my heart. Yeah! The next part just says is canceled.
That would suck. There is no World 2024. Goodbye.
Entering the convention center for the beginning of the World Championships was an unforgettable experience. The venue was decked out in Pokémon decor, the main stage looked incredible, and the atmosphere was unlike anything I had ever experienced.
We're at Worlds 2024. You know I'm gonna shiny hunt.
While waiting for the opening ceremony to begin, I worked on a hunt for a shiny Jumbo Farigiraf, and I managed to get 2 shinies.
It has been heckin' no time at all. That is a shiny at Worlds with plenty of time to spare, and it's not even what I was going for. We got shiny Farigiraf. Let's go.
Then came the opening ceremonies.
3, 2, 1. Woo!
And just like that, everything suddenly felt so real. I'm sure I'm not the only Pokémon fan with the experience of wanting to go to Worlds for this long, and then you're finally there, and those nerves go crazy. I'm very introverted and shy and anxious and all that jazz, and I still felt that way to an extent, but being in a place where everyone is just as much a Pokémon fan as you, it brings you out of your shell a little. I spent the rest of the morning exploring the displays in the Pokémon Worlds Museum and the TCG Art Contest room, and in the afternoon, I ran into a few Wooper Troopers and internet friends and began collecting a lot of Wooper cards. Though, correction, I didn't actually run into people because I was just sitting watching a Pokémon Unite match. Speaking of which, I was watching a match between Fusion and the Orange Juicers, and it was incredible. Especially this part where the Orange Juicers went from being really behind to being 249 points ahead.
Call it a comeback, but here are the Orange Juicers scoring 100 points at the top half, 100 points at the bottom half.
Oh my gosh!
Put them on the grill right now. Get ready for
Whoa!
it. They are not ready to go down to Fusion here, and I gotta say, they finally showed those moments they needed.
Dude!
They obviously delivered, but what that
I love this game.
The day went by very quickly, but I want to take a little pause. Being here was a lot. This was my first in-person event where I intended on recording footage, but I can't lie, taking out a camera in a place full of people made me feel really anxious to the point where I unfortunately didn't record as much as I wanted to. My anxiety in general was a bit tough to deal with on the first day of the tournament, but the people I met throughout the event were so kind. It really helped keep my anxiety in check. Also, this is genius! I have no doubt that there are so many people like me who want to experience Worlds but feel really anxious or overwhelmed. So I really appreciate that they had this. And that's another day down and still plenty in store for the next day. We started off the day by visiting the main stage.
Oh, and this is where I was when I was getting a shiny Farigiraf.
It was a really cool experience, looking at everything close up. Some people were even opening card packs at the tables. And while I would have loved to sit in one of the stream chairs, I decided not to. Loaf the Whooper, however, he's a gamer. He played Pokémon Unite, and he won. Also, I think we should make this a regular thing at Worlds, where we bring Sitting Cuties plushies with us, all dressed for vacation. I feel like it would make for a very wholesome tradition. Also a great alternative for pictures if you're camera shy like me. After that, I checked out a special demo for the upcoming Pokémon trading card game Pocket. They had a bunch of phones with the demo on them, but they also had 2 giant touchscreens. So obviously, I played on one of them. Later in the day, I went to a couple unofficial events hosted by my friends Kwikpanik and AbsolBlog's Pokémon. Kwikpanik's event, the 8192 Shiny Challenge, consisted of everyone shiny hunting on games where the shiny odds are 1 in 8,192. The goal was to hit odds within that time, and maybe find some shinies along the way. Absol's event, the FunFest meetup, consisted of everyone playing Pokémon Black 2 or White 2 and doing a FunFest mission together, with 2 goals. The first one being 30 players in 1 mission, and the second, much more difficult goal, being 1,000 collective points in 1 mission. I used my copy of White 2 for both of these, though I couldn't put as many points towards the FunFest challenge as other players because of the incident I mentioned previously. Anyways, the 8192 challenge began, and it was a lot of fun being in such a big group of shiny hunters. And listen, this isn't my event, so it's not my place to go into details, but I will say we did really well. And check out Kwikpanik's channel. I'm sure he's working on a video about the challenge right now. But either way, his videos are worth a watch. Much like the 8192 challenge, the FunFest mission was a blast, and it's actually the reason why I started playing White 2 for the first time in over a decade. And similarly to the 8192 challenge, this isn't my event, and I highly recommend you check out Matt's channel, AbsolBlog's Pokémon, because I have no doubt he'll make a video about it, and hey, if I'm wrong, his videos are still very fun to watch. And that was pretty much it for the rest of the day. But the next day was the most anticipated day of the event, the finals. But before that, let's take a look at the shinies I got on Pokémon Go. Now, full disclosure, I didn't play a ton of Pokémon Go while I was there because there was just so much to do. But I made it my goal to get a shiny Worlds Pikachu. I also probably would have found more shinies along the way if I had remembered my Go++, but I still got a handful of shinies. A yellow flower Flabébé, 2 white flower Flabébé, an Oricorio, an N unknown, and last but definitely not least, I got a shiny snorkeling Pikachu. So instead of worrying about this costumed Pikachu, I could spend the next day fully focused on watching the finals. Watching the matches on day 1 was nice because you could easily find a seat. Finals were very different, but I still got a pretty solid spot and watched the TCG and VGC finals.
Shinosuke, just gonna conclude that open battle.
Watching all these matches was really inspiring. I've been watching competitors for a while now, and you know, I want to be one someday. I'm not there yet, not even close. But being here really sparked something in me. These competitors have worked hard to be here. There's a lot of information that you have to know off the top of your head just to get one win in a tournament, let alone qualify for Worlds and have that shot at being the world champion. One thing I've been looking forward to ever since being invited to this event was getting to be there in person for the closing ceremonies. For nearly a decade, I have made sure to watch the closing ceremonies every single year. Not for any game announcements or anything, but to see where Worlds would be the next year. There's something about it that just gets me so hyped. And finally, I get to watch the announcement in person.
Yes, it is.
After all these years of watching the announcement on stream, I finally got to see not one, but 2 Worlds announcements at the same time. What a way to end off the event! This was an incredible experience that I'll never forget. I got to meet so many of my online friends in person for the first time. I made more friends. I met quite a few Whooper Troopers, received lots of goodies, found shinies along the way, and wow. It's a lot to take in. I want to thank the Pokémon Company International again for flying me out in the first place. A goal I made 14 years ago to attend the World Championships has been accomplished! I know this video is unconventional for me. This was my first time vlogging, and my anxiety got in the way at first. But this event and the people there taught me so much. From getting over the nerves, to advice on filming in-person events, to just being silly with it and having fun. I left feeling like a different and better person. And with this experience, I am ready to go all out in 2025. Yes, I'm already scheming for next year. Don't question it. Whether I go as a Pokémon partner or a spectator, I hope to attend again next year as well. Because despite all the mishaps I had, that was the best week of my life. Thank you so much for being a part of this. And please, stay hydrated.